Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. Hey, y'all. All right, so we are here today to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. And it took me 3 episodes to see if I even wanted to continue watching. Because you all know last season, I stopped watching altogether. And I would just like watch some of the reviews or whatever. Rox was still reviewing, so I can never miss It's Rox review. So I would still watch Rox, but I did not watch the show at all. This season does not seem so bad. I mean, it's all reality, which I'm kind of over, but I'm not going to be, listen, I'm not going to be super shitty about everything. So we going to get started. And I can tell you that, like the other reviewers that I've watched, Giselle has gone back to behaving the way she behaved season one. And I really, really did like Giselle season one. And I'm not having too big of a problem with her this season. So thank God Robin is gone because I didn't want to look at her. We don't see. I said I wasn't gonna be me. Here I go already. But Robin can fuck off, and she has. So thank God. There's that. But let's get to it, you guys. Let's talk about the episode. All right, you guys. So they picked up where they left off with Giselle kicking the girls out of her what is it, A and G or G and A party or whatever, and she's of course having Ashley do the dirty work, and Ashley is doing it like a little lap dog. She's like, "Oh, you guys are late, so you can't come in." And they're like, "You told us to be here by 8." She's like, "Well, it's 8:04." And they're like, "Oh, hell no." And let me just be clear about something, you guys. I don't remember names, okay? So I'm sorry if people are super offended that I don't remember names, but oh well, there's that. So I make up nicknames for people, and the girl, we gonna learn her name later, but she's the big one with the drapey curls, and she was like super offended. She's like, "Listen, I have never been kicked out of anywhere." Like, she was super offended, and I wasn't mad at her. Then we have Malibu Barbie. She got the chocolate Malibu Barbie. She got the ponytail. They're all pretty, so I'm not clowning them. I just don't know their names yet, you guys, because I didn't watch this shit last season, and I don't think these girls were on last season, so they're new. So we'll learn them. Ooh, y'all, I had to learn her name quick. Ponytail, Miss Malibu Barbie, that's Jazzy, y'all. Jazzy. She let Ashley have it. She said, "Listen, you told us to be here at 8. We are here at 8:03." And I mean, she just went off, and she's like, "And having us kicked out or whatever." They're super offended. And I agree. I understand why they're offended, because how embarrassing, how shitty. And Ashley is just standing there looking crazy. But I definitely appreciated the fact that she did not, act afraid of Ashley or intimidated by Ashley at all. So Ashley just stood there looking crazy when she walked off. And she was super offended. And the other girl, there's 3 of them, 3 new girls, y'all. There's 3 new girls or 4 new girls. It was a shit ton of girls that I saw this episode, and I was just like, "Who the fuck is this? I don't know these girls." But we're gonna learn them. So there was one in a blue dress. She's the one that was like super, super offended. And she's just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, I'm just highly offended." And we gonna learn her name. But and then there's another big one, and then there's big ass Mia. Big ass Mia. And big ass Mia went in when they got on that little bus or whatever. Mia went in, and we'll get back to that later. But Ashley's saying, as the girl Jazzy is walking away, she's saying, "Listen, to me, this is between Karen and Giselle." So I feel like Ashley definitely felt bad about kicking them out. However, she's a lap dog, so she did what she was supposed to do, or what she was asked to do, or what she was told to do, basically. So whatever. And then, so a little context in terms of what happened. They are upset with Karen because Karen she was being honored for something. And Giselle is like, "Listen, we're trying to raise a benefit. We have a benefit. We're trying to raise money for something real. Karen just hit a fucking tree. And this is what you all are doing." And Karen had initially told Giselle that she wasn't going to invite the ladies or whatever because they had her event to go to. And then the next morning, Karen sends out an email or a text message to everyone saying, "Listen, I know you have Giselle's thing, but my thing is before hers. So if you can swing by here first, reversed or whatever. So basically, it's a whole thing of Giselle being upset that she took the girls away from her. So she just kind of took it out on the girls, and it wasn't their fault for real. Okay, so once the ladies get on the little caravan or whatever, I don't know why it's escaping me. Is it a minivan, something like that or whatever? They all get in the van, and the door's still open because it looks like one of Karen's friends came on to the minivan to speak to them or whatever. And Giselle and Ashley and their friends are still in the benefits saying, "Oh, we're still trying to get to 15,000. So it would be funny if you go ask them if they still want to donate, even though they're leaving." And they're laughing like, "Yeah, go do it." And Ashley's dumbass, because she's a dumbass, she takes the clipboard or whatever and she runs out there and she's like, "Hey, if you guys would still like to donate." And Jazz, look, I like her already. Malibu Barbie said, I'm not playing with you, Ashley. She said, "Get off the bus. It's not, this isn't funny. We're not donating anything. Get off, Ashley, with your bags." And she closed the door on her. And the other Barbie, big Barbie, we gonna learn her name, y'all, the super offended one. She was like, "Oh my God, Jazz." And I was like, "Yeah, Jazz. Yeah, Jazz." But so Ashley goes back, they think it's funny, and it's really shitty. By this time, Mia's pissed off, everybody's pissed off, and Mia goes in on Giselle and her Giselle's fucking house. She calls it Willy Wonka, and like Mia goes in. All right, so next we see Wendy in the kitchen with her little chocolate babies, and we love the chocolate, you guys. I'm chocolate, so I can call people chocolate. It's fine. However, those boys don't look like their daddy yet. And no, that is not rude. I'm just saying they have to grow into it because we all know that Eddie is handsome. Eddie's handsome, and they're gonna get there. They are gonna get there. But she had them doing a little drip check, and they were talking about how the shoes was 250, the shirt was like 80, and yada yada. And I was like, okay, I ain't mad at that. Listen, go ahead and have some spoiled ass little kids because I don't have a lot of money and I have a spoiled ass child, and probably most of y'all do too. So don't even judge. But it was a cute little scene. All right, if nothing else, we're learning their names, you guys. And I told you I was a shit ton of people on this show now. And we go to somebody named Karina. I don't even know. Was she there the night before? Like, I don't even remember seeing her. I could be wrong. I have no idea. Like I said, all pretty girls, all kind of a little bit chocolate or whatever. I'm not saying that they all look alike because they're chocolate. It's just a lot of fucking girls. But Karina, she has a man named Greg, and we're gonna get back to her. Next up is Stacy. Stacy is the original Barbie. So we're just gonna call her the original Barbie because this girl is so pretty, you guys. And I mean, she's just so Barbie, like for real. The smile, the hair, the everything. She's so pretty. And a little extra, and I'm not mad at it. I happen to like extra for right now. Like, I don't know how much I'm gonna like her. Oh, I did like her this episode. Matter of fact, now I think about what happened later. I do like her. These girls don't pull no punches. But we're at her house and the doorbell rings. It's Jazzy. And she called her Jassy. So I guess it's not Jazzy, it's like Jassy. And that's our Malibu Barbie with the ponytail. Another pretty girl. So she comes, and at the bottom they had that's Mia's friend. And again, I'm 3 episodes in, so like the initial introduction or whatever, I don't remember because I really don't remember all these people. But yeah, so they're here. They like each other. I like it. We said that they needed to do a reboot with new women, and so far, so good. Who do we have gone? We have what's her name gone? We have Robin gone for sure. Yay. We don't see Sharice. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I hope we don't see her at all. I said I'm not gonna be mean, so I'm gonna leave that there. Just gonna leave that there. Who else? We don't have Candace and her man or whatever. And you guys, I don't miss Candace, even though I did like Candace. And I don't miss Candace, but I feel like I would have rather her been on it so that we could have seen her pregnancy journey. I won't lie. I do feel like we're kind of being cheated because we've been with her all this time beforehand. Like when she didn't want kids right away, and then she did want kids until the point that she ended up, pregnant and expecting or whatever. And I just feel like we're kind of missing out. I feel like we're aunties and we don't get to see our little niece or nephew. It's not right. So I don't miss her because I would always fast forward, but her and her man because boring. But again, I would like to see the pregnancy journey. But anyway, moving on. So we're at Barbie's house. Barbie, who is Stacy, that's her name. All right, y'all. So then we get Ashley coming to the door, and Stacy goes to the door to get it for Ashley, and she's like, Ashley, and then we see Jazzy sitting at the counter, and she rolls her eyes like a big eye roll, and I said, yes, ma'am. As much as I hate to admit it, because I can't stand Ashley. She looked really pretty. Her with all this hair, all that goddamn hair, actually looked pretty on her. The curls and everything. Maybe if she'd have dropped the ponytail a little bit or something. I don't know, but it looked cute on her. So, they sit down and they're like, how was the night or whatever. And, they get to talking about the night, and Stacy is like, listen, we didn't have a good night. Oh, she says G&A, we had a really good night. I bet y'all didn't make 15,000 because there was literally like 5 people in there. I bet y'all didn't. Y'all really should have had those girls stay. But anyway, and Stacy says, well, we didn't have a good night. What happened there, Ashley? And then Jazzy like jumps in and she's like, yeah, because gangsters and alcohol was like, oh, come on down. And then as soon as we got there, they was like, oh, y'all can get out like the gangsters they are. Ashley's like, oh, gangsters and alcohol? Yeah, y'all been renamed. I said, listen, Jazzy, I'm all about her. Jazzy, whatever her name is, Malibu Barbie, I'm all about her. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. I forgot this was one of my issues with Potomac, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to call it out, but it's hard to believe sometimes because Ashley is a terrible actor or actress, whatever they're calling. And she kept calling her Jazzy, so I guess it is Jazzy. But yeah, she's smiling the whole time. She's like, Jazzy, it was very rude of you to let the minivan close on me, or the Sprinter, that's what they would call it. It's very rude of you to let the Sprinter close on me. And she's like, well, I reenacted it and it closed softly, it didn't hurt you. And she's like, oh, but it was very rude. And so they're getting loud, and it seems like on purpose. And then we have Karen coming in and she's yelling, what the fuck is going on? And we look at Ashley's face, and Ashley's face has a smile on it, but she's like, what? And I'm just, oh, excuse me, and I'm just like, oh my God. We have people that's really, really trying to make good TV. And that was one of the things that I did not like about Potomac last season, is that you could kind of tell, and the season before that, with the smiles and the smirks and everything, you could kind of tell that some of this stuff is just not genuine. But we'll go with it. It's fine. We'll go with it. All right, so Karen comes in. Ashley's like, what is this energy? And she's like, what do you guys got going on? Are you guys working it out? So then her and Ashley kind of get into it about the inquisition of a birthday party and the fact that Ashley gave her $200 in Uber cards. And I'm like, well, that was very nice. And Karen, you probably really should use it. Like, if you're out drinking or whatever, just use the fucking Uber card. And she's like, I should have gave them back to you. And then she ends up calling her, talk about her bunions. And it's like she came up with the read, but she couldn't get it out right. It was something like a human being of a bunion, of an acorn bunion that's on your foot. And then we have Ashley putting her shoe. And I don't care that she didn't put the bottom of the shoe on the counter, but she still put her foot up on the lady's counter, talking about, are we talking about my bunions? It was a cute moment though, because they all laughed. And then she did the other shoe. And I was like, come on, Barbie, you ain't got a problem with her putting her shit up. Like, I'd have been like, if you don't get your feet off my counter, get your freaking foot off my counter. But that's not the problem. So Barbie is in the confessional and she goes, Ashley is a very beautiful young woman from the neck to the ankles. And I said, you know what? Kenya has that problem too. But we ain't gonna talk because that just means that they be wearing the shoes, the cute shoes that don't agree with them, and they suffer to look good, apparently. But I don't know if it's worth it. But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I also don't want to leave out the fact that Karen Ashley was saying that she was deflecting and she was like dodging all the questions anyway at this little party. And she's like, I know you got some nerve saying something because, when Michael was running around pinching asses or whatever, and we would ask you about it, everything you would say would be like, oh, I can't talk about it. We're in court. I can't talk about it. And then they showed a flashback, and we even see a flashback of Karen saying, well, Karma's a bitch. And I'm like, and it is going the other way as well because now you are in a situation, Karen. And then Ashley tells her, well, look, you might be doing jail time. And they're like, oh my God, Ashley. And she's like, I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there. Y'all, they so full of it. All right, so we end that scene with the girls, the new girls, saying that they can't move forward until Giselle apologizes. And Ashley is saying, okay, okay. And Karen is like, well, she was wrong. She'll apologize. And I'm like, who? Giselle, who? And then Ashley is in the confessional saying the same thing. Listen, they used to call Giselle the queen. She does not apologize. So, what's her name? Stacy Barbie said, okay, we'll wait on that. And she does this little eye roll or whatever. And I'm like, you should be waiting because Giselle don't apologize. She don't take accountability, or at least that's the old Giselle. All right, you guys. So I can't watch this shit with Wendy and her mom again. Okay, I just can't. I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna have to tell you by memory what I can remember. They're talking about Wendy cooking or not cooking, and the mom is coming to cook and everything. And what we find out from the scene is that Eddie's mom, I think she said, Eddie's mom called Wendy or either text her and said Happy Mother's Day. And we all know that Eddie's family is not fucking with them really. They don't fool with the mom, and there's this whole thing where they don't fool with each other. And apparently the two mothers used to be good friends, and then they fell out, and then Wendy and Eddie ended up getting together, and yeah, the families just don't get along. So Wendy is having something, and she's like, well, in the spirit of making up and the fact that she, kind of put out an olive branch, I'm going to go ahead and invite her. Wendy's mom is like, that's fine. I tried to hug her last time. She didn't want to hug. So I just want to try to hug her. And it's cool. I can be cool as long as she, is cool. But if she nuck, I'm a buck, basically. And I was just like, Wendy's mom needs to calm the fuck down because last season, wasn't that the whole thing? Wasn't the whole thing about her mom just being a bit much? I mean, I know it was the whole voodoo thing and all that shit or whatever, but I just think Wendy's mom she gotta calm down. It's okay. So that's it for that. Like I said, I can't watch that shit again. So that's all I remember. Okay, so now we're at Kierna's house. And you guys, I do remember that name. So I think this is the girl that was on it last season as a friend of the show or whatever. And she's the one that came on the reunion. So I do like her because she came on the reunion. She stood up to Ashley and she wasn't playing no games. So I think I like her. So we're at her house. Apparently her man's name is Greg. They moved in together. They have a house being built. And she's in the confessional. Her sister came. Pretty black women. These are some beautiful women on this show. But she's in the confessional saying that, she's never been a thirsty ring girl, meaning she's just out for the ring or whatever. So as long as they get in this house together or whatever. And we'll come back to that. So apparently he had a root canal or whatever, and he's not feeling the greatest. The sister brought out a couple of Campbell's soup or whatever, and Kierna or whatever, I guess she can't really cook. And he doesn't like her eggs. So I don't know what we need to do with that information, but we have it. So there's that. All right, little correction. That was not her sister that came. That was actually her mother. I said, okay, go ahead, mom. Mom looks good to be her mom. And I only say that because she's a grown woman or whatever. They look like sisters. But mom is, after when are you guys getting married? And again, she tells her that she's not a thirsty ring girl. And mom is like, what is that? Oh, that's the girl that's just like, oh, I want to be married. I want to be married. While I get it. And I understand that feeling. I just feel like she's kind of downplaying it. And she really does want it, but she's downplaying it. And I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like, how are you going to get it if you guys are moving in together and everything, and then you keep coming off like, I don't care if it really happens, but you really do. And I get the fact that she wants it to be on him and his accord, and she wants him to want it. I get it, but the downplaying it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know that I'm one to talk because I've never been the ring girl either. Like, oh my God, I just have to be married, have to be married. But if it happens, fine. And am I downplaying it? Do I actually want it and just downplaying it? I don't know. So I can't really judge her. I get what she's saying, but on the other hand, I kind of feel a little bit bad for her because I feel like she does want it and she's just downplaying it. But anyway, we meet Greg, and Greg is Greg. And he says, it's been a transition and they're working it out, trying to, I guess get their bearings for living together. But he says she's doing a good job. And I'm like, fuck you mean she doing a good job? What you doing? She doing a good job at what? And that's what I'm saying. She's doing a good job at showing her wifely qualities. I'm just playing, y'all. All right, so we have Giselle with the twins. The twins are going to prom, and you guys, we really, really did watch them grow up. These are beautiful girls, and I know I'm calling everybody on this show beautiful, but they really are. This is an attractive cast, and we know Giselle is beautiful, and she looks really good. Let me just say that while I'm in the midst of calling everybody beautiful. Giselle looks really pretty in her confessionals. But the girls, beautiful. They're going to prom. The dad comes. Jamal. I happen to like Jamal, but him and what's her hairstylist, Kyle, her friend, and she said get a gay best friend or whatever, and I'm like, ooh, she might get a little backlash from that because they don't like to be called like their accessories or whatever. Like, that's not nice. But I don't know, y'all. Jamal, what y'all think about Jamal? And I'm just gonna leave it alone. But anyway, so we have the girls. They look beautiful. They look beautiful. Even Grace came downstairs. She had on her little red dress or whatever. And we know she's already in college. And then the other girls are going to college. And Giselle's about to be an empty nester. And I actually feel for her in this instance because she is not gonna know how to deal with it for real. Like, it's gonna be something brand new, and it was brand new for me, and I only had one. But the fact that you have more there, and it's kind of a louder environment, and you used to like a little hustle and bustle around, and then to go from that to absolutely nothing, it's gonna be different for her. But yeah, so they're going to prom. We learned that Angel, she wants to go in at 12:02, and she, like, her social battery is gonna run out. However, Adore is more of a social butterfly. She wants to stay out later, so they just kind of compromise on 12:30. So it looks like one of them, I can't remember who because I'm not watching this scene again, you guys. I'm really just kind of going off memory too. But one of them, they have a white guy that they're going with, and I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, cute little scene with Giselle and the girls. All right, so now we're at Mia's Airbnb, and she said that because she lives in the same building as, I guess her and Ink and the kids live in the same building as Gordon, and sometimes they want their own space without Gordon popping up, so they rent an Airbnb, and she's like, it's weird, and I'm like, yeah, the whole goddamn thing is weird. But we have them hosting Jacqueline and her family, and Jacqueline came in with her two daughters, and her oldest daughter did not want to be there. Like, she looked so uncomfortable. But she had this cake, and we find out that it's her on again, off again boyfriend, co-parent. I can't remember, but I think it's the kid's dad that she's on again, off again with. But anyway, it's his birthday. He's coming over to meet Ink because she feels like they would get along. We also learned that, of course, we know that Ink and Mia, they grew up together and they were childhood boyfriend girlfriend. They show an old picture, and he looked way better when he was younger because that shit wasn't all over his head. Like, maybe he would be okay if he got a haircut, but his hair looks a mess, like a freaking mess. You guys, my opinion of Jacqueline is she's definitely a try hard. And I thought she was a try hard before when she was going at it with Mia, but I did kind of a little bit feel sad. Not sad for her. I felt bad for her a little bit because Mia was being so mean to her. But she just, I don't know. It's something about Jacqueline. I'm not going to judge her too harsh, but anyway, her boyfriend comes in, or her ex boyfriend, and they are co parents or whatever, Patrick. And he meets Ink, and Ink is like, well, do you drink? And he's like, yeah, I'll take a shot or whatever. And he's like, well, I drink the dark. I don't drink the light. I drink the dark. And he's just very buttoned up or whatever. But he seems really cool. So when he came in, Mia's calling him PP. So Ink is like, why is she calling you PPP? And he's like, they call it parental partner or whatever. So it was stupid. And then Jacqueline's like, yeah, he's my parental partner and co-parent, and he has a big PP. And they all look, and Mia's like, Jacqueline. And I'm like, she's such an attention whore. Like, girl, don't be inappropriate. Don't talk about people's penises around my man. Don't get all into shit like that. Like, that's not cool. So her boyfriend or her ex or whatever is like, man, give me another shot. And I was like, yeah, I might like Patrick. So when Mia and Jacqueline go out the room, Ink asks, Ink tells, what's his name, Patrick, that his little princesses look just like him. He's like, can't deny them. And he's like, your princesses look just like you. And Patrick says, yeah, I tried to deny him. Like, no smile, no nothing. And I died laughing. Like, that dry ass humor, love it. He's like, I tried to deny him. And he's like, well, do you have any? And Ink is going to look at Mia's son, the oldest son, excuse me, the oldest son, and say, that's mine right there. Hold on. I think that's crazy for him to be claiming that man's son. Don't be claiming G's son if you don't know for a fact that that's your son. And you literally said it to him like you knew for a fact that that's your son. Like, there's mine right there. And I'm like, that shit's not cute. And this little boy is going to have to deal with all of this when he gets a little bit older. And friends see him on TV, and you don't know who your dad is, and your mom don't know. Like, kids are vicious. And the fact that they are putting this shit out here, I don't know if it's for a storyline or if it's real, but I feel like if he thought that was his kid, it literally takes a minute to figure that shit out. Like, go get tested, and we don't have to do this back and forth. But don't be claiming other people's children on TV like that. I don't think that's cool. And I think Mia needs to nip this shit in the bud. Like, the fact that she's playing with her kid like this is not cool. All right, and we also have this review is running too long, you guys. I'm almost at 30 minutes, and there's still like a little bit of time left. So I'm just going to wrap this shit up soon. But they Jacqueline says that after they broke up, he tried to talk to her. Ink tried to talk to her and take her out to dinner and everything. And she was like, ooh, I don't want those kind of problems. I'm going to stay away. As opposed to being like, hell no, because you were just with my girl. So absolutely not. Like, I don't know. It was something about the way she said it, just so casually. I don't like it. I don't like Jacqueline. Jacqueline feel like whatever is Mia's is hers, and I don't like that. All right, y'all. Now let's just get into the shit, okay? Let's get into the shit with Barbie, Stacy Barbie. Pretty girl, but girl, why are you fucking with somebody who don't like you? Why are you fucking with somebody who actually like your trainer? Why are we doing that? And it's so obvious. Like, I felt so bad for her. This whole scene was just cringeworthy. And I was just like, girl, you're so pretty. He's, first of all, yeah, I be trying not to talk about people anymore because I still gotta have grandkids. And I really feel like you can't be talking about people that bad and then, your grandkids come out looking a mess. I'm still gonna love them, but I mean, I would like some cute grandkids. But this man, first, she could do better. I'll just say that. And number two, she could do way better because she can find somebody that actually likes her. And I'm like, does this man have a lot of money or something? I don't know. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. Although she acts like she's really attracted to him. And he comes in, we meet the trainer, she hugs the trainer, hey, and then she calls him her friend, and she told somebody that she's in love with him. I'm in love with somebody. Apparently she's going through a divorce or whatever, and she's been separated or whatever a year, and she's been seeing this guy for a year, and they don't claim each other because they don't sleep together or whatever, because he's supposed to be so spiritual. And she, god damn it, hold on. All right, sorry, y'all. So back to it. So he comes in, she goes in for a kiss. She's like hugging him around his waist or whatever. And he's like, oh, looking at the trainer. Oh, she's so awkward. You see how awkward she is? No, god damn it, she's trying to go in for a hug. Like, what? I don't understand. But then I did understand once he met the trainer, he hugged the trainer. Y'all, this man got free feels. He started touching on the trainer's arms, like, oh, look at you. And I was like, what's happening here? Like, seriously, what is happening here? He liked the trainer, y'all. Allegedly, I'll say that. Oh my God. Y'all, I don't like TJ. I don't like TJ. I don't like the fact that when he first came in and she tried to hug him, he literally did not hug her. He saw the trainer come in, he had a big ass smile on his face, and he said, oh, you know what, let me do this. And he pushed her off of him and went and hugged the shit out of the trainer, and then felt him up and was like, oh, how do you know her? And she is in the confessional talking about how much she likes him, and she decided to get romantic with him or whatever. And I'm like, he's not romantic with you, sis. He's not. So after they finished working out, and then she said something about why he have to give us the big balls. And he's like, because that's what every black man wants, big balls. And I'm like, no, sir, that's what you want. You want the big balls. And then she's like, well, tell me how much you want to. And he's like, God damn it. And he's like, I'm not going to sleep with you. I'm not going to sleep with you. And then they start laughing about it. And she's like, well, tell me how much you want to sleep with me. And she's trying to hug him, and he's pushing her off. And he's like, K. And she's like, what is the K? And he's like, none. He doesn't want to sleep with her at all. And I'm like, why are you dealing with him? Like, what are you doing here, Sid? What are you doing? Seriously. I don't understand what's happening here. I don't know if this is real or not, because in the confessional, she says that no, he's not a virgin. They ask, is he a virgin? And she says, no, he's not a virgin. He just said that he's not going to sleep with another woman until he's married or something like that. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. But yeah, she picks her words very carefully, and I am reading between the lines. She said, and I'm only coming back to it because I just watched it now, but she said that he is not a virgin. He has had other partners, and she's picking these words very carefully. He's had other partners, but he said he will not sleep with a woman until he's married. So that makes me believe that he is bisexual, and he will get hot and heavy. Like, he'll do whatever with the man, but he's not sleeping with another woman until he's, or with a woman until he's married. I don't know, but that's what I got from it. And I kind of feel like she knows because of the words that she's choosing. I don't know. It's very weird. If this is a real relationship, then I feel bad for her. But then again, I don't, because she's a grown ass woman. So it's like, girl, go pick somebody that looks better and will fuck you, basically. Sorry, that was a little raunchy, but it's true, girl. Go get yours. Okay, so wrapping them up, he gives the trainer a goodbye hug, and once again, he gets free feels. And then he asks her about the divorce, and she's very kind of standoffish about it or whatever. And she's like, I don't really want to discuss it. I just want to spend time with you. And basically, to sum it up, he's just like, listen, I got to do things the right way, and I just want to make sure that there's a start and a finish. And I definitely understand what he's saying. Like, okay, he's with her, while she's in the process of going through this divorce, and it's not, done or whatever, but say something, make sure that I know that this shit is actually going down, and I'm not sitting here looking crazy, even though I don't feel like he cares that much, for real, for real. But I mean, it was nice that he said it, I guess. All right, you guys. So wrapping it up, we're gonna sit at this lunch or whatever it is that Giselle threw for the girls. So she invited the girls there. So right now we have Giselle, Ashley, Jazz, and Stacy. And Jazz is just like, listen, Giselle, I'm glad you greeted me with a hug because this is very different from the last time I saw you. Giselle apologized, and we get to, I believe Mia came. Hold on, I want to know for a fact who came so that I can say it correctly because I'm about to wrap this shit up for real. Okay, y'all, it was Wendy that came. So we have Wendy, Jazz, and Stacy, and then we have Giselle and Ashley, and they're talking and everything. And then we get to talking to Stacy about her situation, and Giselle is telling her that, yeah, I heard you're going through a divorce and this and that. And so she's just saying a little bit about it, because she doesn't really want to talk about it too much, but they've been together for like 20 years, something like that. And then Giselle is like, hey, you sound like you're kind of not over it. Are you sure you want this divorce? And then Ashley chimes in and she's like, well, yeah, she's moved on. She got a man. She moved on. And when I tell you, Stacy, Barbie Stacy was not having it. She was just like, listen, nobody told you to sit up and tell all my business over charcuterie. This is something I told you, and I didn't tell you to tell everybody and share with everybody. And of course, Ashley's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was a secret and that you weren't going to tell the group and this and that. And as they're, Giselle is still talking about it, and she's like, oh, well, if you moved on, then cool, fuck it. And the girl is looking, she's still looking as she's talking to Giselle, but still peering at Ashley like she's pissed. And I got my life from that look. She was looking at Ashley like, I could beat your ass. And I appreciate these girls giving it back to Ashley. I really do. Okay, I want to see how it ends because I can't remember before I wrap it up. I have a tendency to get over it, and I'm at the over it point now where I just want to be done. But I will see what happened at the end because I don't want to miss anything that I don't talk about. But I think that was kind of it. All right, y'all. So I am gonna wrap it up. So we end the episode with Karen and Mia. Like the girls are on their way somewhere. I think to Mia's hometown. And Karen and Mia, they're in a car together, and Mia's asking Karen how she's doing. Karen's like, I can't talk about it. And Mia's like, well, listen, at some point you're going to have to talk about it. This shit's on the internet. And she's like, well, then read the internet. Read about it. And she's like, I've read the internet, and I'm asking you how you're doing. And, Karen is the queen of deflection. She really is. Like, if she don't want to talk about it, she's not going to talk about it. So we didn't really get anything there. But I will say this in closing, I was entertained. Not happy that I just had to watch it for a second time. I was entertained the first time. No, I'm just playing. It wasn't that bad. So we're back. We'll do Potomac for now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video or the podcast, I guess you can call it. See what I did there? And I will see you guys in the next video. If you have made it to the end of the review, then you are the real MVP. Please consider liking, comment, subscribing. That is not what I say, but y'all know I have not been here in so long. I don't even know how I end the videos. Like, I swear to God, I don't. I'm going to remember it, though. But go ahead and subscribe if you have not. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. There it is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.